Welcome, friends of the Greasy Shop Rag. Today we're going to take a look at a Stihl MS660 chainsaw. Customer complaint is that it won't start. Let's take a look in the gas tank and see what he's running for fuel. It's dry. Certainly it won't start if there's no fuel in it. Not sure what's going on here with this saw. Why don't we take a look inside the cylinder and see what kind of shape it's in. Air filter's a little dirty. Not sure what I was going to do there with the bit driver. So this saw, I had to think about it a little bit when we get going here. And you'll see what I mean here in just a minute. So the spark plug almost looks a little gray, like there might be some metal transfer on it. But when I try to roll the cylinder, or when I try to roll the piston over to look at the cylinder, the saw is locked up. Well, you think you would have mentioned that when you dropped it off instead of just saying it won't start, right? Then on the other hand, I probably could have pulled the cord once before I started digging into this. So it didn't look like it was any bindage on the clutch side. Let's look under the starter, rewind, and see if maybe the ignition coil is jammed up against the flywheel. So there, it just broke loose. I don't know why it was tight yet. So let the confusion begin. I know there's something going on, I just don't know what's going on. Still haven't got a good look at the cylinder yet. But what I'm trying to do here is, it almost feels like there's a lot of play between the flywheel and the movement of the piston. And now I'm looking to see if maybe a crank bearing is out. You know, I have seen where the cage of a bearing is gone, but you can't feel any play in the bearing because all the balls are still kind of evenly separated around the bearing. Did you notice that the chain's on backwards? You think maybe they just tried to keep cutting with this thing and cooked it? So I'm not feeling any play on the clutch side either. I mean, there might be a little bit of play in the clutch bearing, I should say. The needle bearing on the drum. But I know something's going on down in the basement because the thing was locked up man, look at that. Big crack in the clutch cover. This thing's been beat on here. So we're going to look inside the cylinder again. And to be honest, I don't remember what it looked like in there. I don't remember. I think it was very clean. So right now at this point, I kind of got a good idea that there's a rod bearing out because I don't feel anything in the crank bearings. But I can hear a little bit of play, and it was locked up there for a second. So I think what we're going to do is just put it back together and see if this thing's going to run or not. Maybe I'll get some more clues when I try to start it. Well, we'll put some fuel in here and try and fire it up. And you decide. You tell me what you think the problem is. Click. Alright, let's see what she's got. Oh, that thing's rolling. She's jumped. Yeah. As it turns out, this has a lower connecting rod bearing that's out. And I informed the customer that it's going to need a crankshaft assembly. And they decided just to pay the diagnostic fee and pick up the saw. I don't know what their plan is, but they didn't want to pay our prices to have it repaired. So that's all I got for you in the Stihl MS660 connecting rod bearing failure. Thanks for watching. Later.